All right, let's talk about the mini celebrity status ads ecosystem and how to break free from the endless grind to create sustainable, high converting systems that position you as the only option using a proper ad strategy that's actually working right now. Because here's the problem that a lot of coaches are having. You're getting too many tire kicker prospects, constantly hearing, I need more time to think about it on every single call. I hear it from coaches all the time. Ads are losing their steam. You might be still getting lots of clicks, but conversions are coming down. ROIs aren't what they used to be, meaning I talk to coaches all the time. They were, getting their ads were bringing in 3, 5, 10 times return on investment. They're making 20, 30,000 a month. Now the same ad spend is making them 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month. The calls are more combative. People are like, why should I work with you? What makes you different? And then you got the other problem here, number 3, which is declining social reach. Talk to coaches all the time. They've got 5, 10, 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, or 50, 100,000 connections on Instagram, 10,000 people in Facebook groups, and all these kind of various things. 10,000 LinkedIn connections, and it's not working like it used to. They used to be able to put a post out, put a video out, boom, fill a group coaching program, bring in 10, 20,000 a month in terms of just every time they ran a sale. Now it's like, what's going on? I'm having to work way harder. My views are going down. I'm not seeing as many people follow me anymore. They're more combative. It's not working. And again, people are comparing, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's not stopping. And we're seeing this. And here's the reality. I want to share with you what's actually possible. So I've spent the last few years investing over $2 million into ads. You can see right here. It's actually more than that, but Facebook will only go back so far in their reporting system. And look at the things that I've been experiencing. Nearly 100% show up rate, even in the hardest market conditions. You got to remember, I'm helping coaches that in the coaching coaches who coach coaches space. So the most jaded people who, are not very happy, right? In a lot of cases. And I'm having the best ROI on ad spend, tracking every dollar. We're spending in a decade, well over a decade, since 2014. And enrollment calls are effortless. We're talking to people who want to work with me, who are ready to move forward, and have clients who work with me for years, okay? And here's some proof that this method is actually working. Jeremy, he does 30 to somewhere around 40, 50,000 a month, helping people learn how to play the trumpet, charges $5,200, $5,400 for his coaching program. People are buying. This is Sid. I cut this out of a testimonial video of Sid. And Sid, he's in his late 70s. He makes between 30 and 40,000 a month. And I would say 90% of that's net profit after ad spend. He's a mindset coach for coaching business owners around call reluctancy, and nobody wants to learn how to overcome call reluctancy. It's a need, not a want, right? And he's doing amazing at helping these people. And then this is Jen, and Jen scaled her business into the multiple 7 figures over the years using these strategies. So this actually works. But here's the problem with coaches. I'm going to pull myself over here. And this is the one thing that's happening that catches a lot of coaches, is that most coaches, most experts and gurus are teaching you what to think, but you need to learn how to think, okay? So here's what happens, right? It's basically this game of, I need more tactics. There's got to be a better method. There's got to be a new strategy. What am I missing? Is fear of missing out that we always feel. There's got to be some thing I can do right now to fix this, or maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe I'm just manifesting bad clients and I need to just work on my money mindset and stuff like that. And definitely all those things are helpful, but here's the problem. A better Facebook group's not going to fix this. Better reels on Instagram's not going to fix this. Charging less for your coaching's not going to fix this. Having a better funnel, not going to fix this. A better tech stack, you know what I mean? You're always maybe I should move from Go High Level to Kajabian. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe it's just that. Maybe I should work with people longer, charge less, offer one-on-one versus group. and it's not working. And there's the issue is, how do you think? And I want to teach you how to think through this process to help get you there. So what I want to do is I want to explain to you why ad funnels and generally funnels are not working anymore, why they don't scale, why you're feeling stuck, why it feels like everything's regressing. And I want to explain it to you basically because like for years or for a decade, I was a funnel guy. Okay. And it's changed. And so I started online in 2023 or 2003. You can see there, and part-time helping churches build their digital presence with a company called TrinityWebHosting.com. And we grew it to probably 200 churches. And so I was helping them with their online space, and I got in early, and I'll tell you what, being in early didn't help because we had no idea what we were doing, right? And there was no coaching programs. But before that, I'd actually got my bachelor's degree in theology in the year 2000. And in April of 2000 from Northwest Bible College, which is now Vanguard College. And I was a pastor, and I graduated Bible college in Edmonton, Canada, as a pastor. And I worked in churches till about 2005. And this is the last church I worked at up until 2005. It's in Edmonton, Canada. It's a mega church. It's over right now. There are probably 3,500 in attendance, and it was about 2,500 when I was there. And I was an associate pastor, and I was doing this Trinity web hosting on my day off and helping churches. And eventually, I just had to go full time. We just had too many churches, and so I did get out of that, and I sold Trinity web hosting because I saw the writing on the wall back in somewhere around 2006. And I was like, GoDaddy's going to kill the industry. Cause, we were charging whatever, a couple $100 a month or something like that. And GoDaddy was like, well, it's $3 a month for 24-hour support and free website and all this. I was like, oh my gosh. So we got out of that, and I started getting into coaching, and it was a lot of low ticket stuff. It was really all over the place. But what happened is in 2012, the high ticket funnels that you now know and use started working to get with premium offers and high ticket clients. And they actually started working real well. And we see I see coaches all the time coming into the industry making 5, 10, 15,000 a month. And they think they were the ones who invented the funnel. And I'm like, hey, this stuff's been around since 2012. And it peaked in about 2023. Okay. I was spending up to 150,000 a month in ads in 2023. And it was just like printing money. Everything worked. Everything we threw at the internet worked. And what happened in here, in about 2020, as you know, the world shut down, right? And it changed everything. So what happened? Well, in the summer of 2023, the market shifted. And I want to teach you what happened. And again, this is because so many people, when the shutdown happened, came online and they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can do all this stuff online. And why would I work my corporate job when I can become a consultant and I can charge all this money and I can get clients and you know what I mean? And all this other stuff. And so it changed everything. And what happened was 6 major things have shifted since the summer of from 2020, it peaked, it really came to a head in 2023. And it's quite frankly just gotten worse. Funnel tool saturation. There's, now there's just Go High Level, there's ClickFunnels, there's Kajabi. Everyone has the same tech stack now, and everybody's got the same registration page and book a call and text broadcasting and emails. And so you got to remember your market is completely oversaturated because they're seeing everything. The next thing was information overload. It just crushed the industry. There's 700,000 hours daily on YouTube being uploaded, and average person right now is spending 15 minutes a day on ChatGPT. So you add those two together, and me included, I'm on YouTube all the time. I pay for the subscription on YouTube so you don't have to watch the commercials. I'm on there all the time. It's my number one place to, other than watching football, I watch YouTube, right? And I asked ChatGPT all kinds of questions, and I'm guilty of this as anybody. And it's overwhelmed your market. They don't think they need you anymore. Why would I need a weight loss coach when I can watch YouTube videos on weight loss stuff? And then the next thing I can do is I can simply ask ChatGPT for meal guides and meal planning stuff and read my blood work for me and all this kind of stuff. ChatGPT can do all that. Why do I need a coach, right? Or if you're a mindset coach, I can watch every video there is, every meditation there is on YouTube now, and all this kind of stuff. And the other thing is ChatGPT can give me ideas and strategies. And so you're not seeing this. It's like a silent killer, and you're not seeing it in a lot of ways because people aren't telling you, oh, ChatGPT is replacing you. ChatGPT is replacing you, okay? And it's replacing coaches, and it's moving fast. I was watching a podcast on YouTube where an 8-figure business coach was saying that his course sales have dropped to 20% of what they used to be. Dropped to 20%, not dropped by 20%. And he says it's just all ChatGPT. The other problem is everybody's now offering the same thing, right? Everybody's promise is the same. Again, I'm going to keep it broad because of markets we understand. You're a weight loss coach. Everybody's got a guarantee. I guarantee you're going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days without going to the gym, without stopping eating the things you want, without this, without that. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's offering the same thing. Everybody's got the same amount of coaching. Everybody's got the same thing. Everybody says 6 weeks of this, one-on-one for that, all this kind of stuff. It's all the same. And so your market's constantly seeing the same thing, except people are just exaggerating the promises and even higher and higher and higher. I can help you lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks. I can help you do, you know what I mean? And so what's happened is your market just doesn't believe it anymore. The other problem that's happened is sophisticated prospects. Your audience became educated, they're skeptical, and they're comparing all the time. And you don't know that they are. They are. They're seeing your ad, and then Meta shows them all the other ads. If they're getting on your call, they're getting on 5 other calls. If they're seeing your pricing, they're seeing everybody else's. And quite frankly, they just are more sophisticated, and they don't believe it. And the other thing that's happened is they're just being burned by bad coaches, right? And here's the problem. Your ideal client's definition of a coach is different than yours, okay? If your definition of a coach is like somebody who paid multiple $1,000s, worked with somebody one-on-one in a group, their definition of a coach is I joined a free Facebook group and they provided coaching and the coaching sucked. Therefore, coaches suck, right? I'm telling you, this is happening. Or they'll say, I joined a mastermind. And you're like, oh, wow. Okay. So you spent a lot of money on a mastermind? Yeah. It was like $18. And I got a Facebook group and some training and weekly calls for life. And you're like, oh, cool. Okay. My coaching program's $3,000. And they're like, what do I get? Well, you get a private Facebook group and question and answers for 12 weeks. Oh, okay. So why is it different than the program I'm in right now that I paid $49 for? Oh, my coaching's better. Oh, well, they give me 100 videos. Are you starting to see what's happening? And so people are getting burned by bad coaches and they don't value you. They don't value the fact that you are good. They quite frankly don't even care because they're like, I don't get it. This coach said, I'll do everything for $40 a year. And you're telling me it's $5,000 for 3 months. I'll go with the free coach or the cheap one, right? Also, ads are increasingly bringing in broke, unqualified prospects who can't afford your service. And the reason why that's happening is AI. Okay. And we're going to get into that in a second here. And so what I want to do is just walk you through the brutal math of this. And you got to remember, I've been in this industry since it began. When I was started out back in, 05, and I don't want to go through it all again, but back in 2014, when I talked about being a coach, I had to explain what it was. People are like, is there like a soccer coach? You know what I mean? And so you need to understand how this works. And so this is the math. Okay. Let's talk about the average funnel. Okay. So, and this can do for organic as well. And it's scary. Think about this. The problem with traditional funnels is they're 98% front loaded. All right. And I'm going to explain that word in a minute here, but watch this. So you get 1,000 people click on your ad. Let's just stay for ads right now. And hypothetically, let's say you spend $2 a click, and we're going to keep it broad. We're going to say you're a weight loss coach, and no disrespect if you are. I help a lot of weight loss coaches have done really well, but it's just something everybody can understand. We get it. We know it. You know what I mean? Versus like some AI coach for Fortune 500 companies or something like that maybe doesn't translate well to everybody else. So you got 1,000 people in a month. Let's hypothetically say in a month, over the last 30 days, you got 1,000 clicks and you paid $2 to get a visitor. All right. So now we're spent $2,000. You got 150 people give you an email address. 15% of those 1,000 people give you an email address, which is good. It's about average, but you just lost 85% of the people, right? So 85% of the people are gone. All right. Now, of those 150 people, about 10% should book a call. I talk to coaches all the time who get 2%, 3%, and they're still able to eke out, 6 figures a year type thing, but it's just grinding away. It's just, they'd be better off just like getting a job selling whatever door-to-door solar systems or something. Like, it's just a horrific way to make a living. And so we're going to assume 15 calls, 10%. Oh, now the problem is 90% of your leads. Do you see how inefficient this is? You lost 85% of your traffic on that. Then you lost, then 90% of the people didn't do anything of that. Okay, so we got 15 calls. 8 are going to show up on average. For me, it's 98% and a lot of my clients. But let's just say this funnel, you're going to get 8 show up, right? Now, only 3 of them are going to be qualified because some of them have lied on their applications, or you end up talking to them and you're like, how did you even think for a second I was going to talk to you about a coaching program? You know what I mean? Where they're at the local library or something like that on a Zoom because they're broke, or just a total train wreck, right? Just an absolute disaster. And you're just like, how did this happen? And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but I'm just like looking at qualified calls. So you end up with 3 prospects. And let's say you charge $3,000 for your coaching, you will be lucky to get 1 to 2% of these, or 1 to 2 buyers. Okay. Out of those 3, so 1 buys, that's a 33% enrollment rate. And so basically 1 to 2 buyers, that's 0.1 to 0.2% conversion rate off of those 1,000 people. How can you possibly make a living like that if you have a bad week, or you're sick, or you're tired, and your enrollment calls are not dead on? I'm telling you right now, the problem with the funnels is they require prospects to already know you, but they're attracting desperate people, and you need elite level skills to make it all work. Okay. You need to be the best of the best of the best to make the math work when you're dealing in percentiles of 0.1 to 0.2. Now, what about the math? 1,000. So we've already spent $2,000. And if we only got 1 buyer for $3,000, why would you spend $2,000 to make $3,000, or even spend, you spend 2 and you got 2 buyers for $3,000. Now you're going to make $6,000. Let's say one of those bounces a payment on you, and now you're at like $4,000 or $5,000 on $2,000, minus all the other expenses you have. This absolutely sucks. Like, this business model absolutely sucks. And the other part of this thing is you're talking to people who are who don't like you, don't know you, scared to buy from you, scared. And this whole thing is creating the law of diminishing returns. And the worst thing is you can say, instead of 1,000 ad clicks, you could say 1,000 clicks from LinkedIn, organic from your posts, or 1,000 clicks from your reels on Instagram, 1,000 clicks out of your Facebook group, and you're still going to get this average. Okay, this is the average this is generous, all right? This is assuming you're actually really good at this. So if we're making 10, 20 grand a month, and you're like, it's getting harder and harder and harder, you essentially are swimming upstream, and it's only going to get worse until the point this thing will not even work, okay? And so how do we fix this? Well, there is an easy way, and it's been working for years now. And what I want to do is I want to explain it to you here, okay? First off, you need to understand that this is what's happening, and I drew this out to help illustrate this, is this: when coaching prospects buy. So up here, you can see this top part. It says prospects who buy within 48 hours of seeing you. Realistically, about 5% of the people who see your stuff are going to buy now, are going to see your stuff on a Monday and be on your calendar and buy on Tuesday. Maybe 5% if they buy. So basically let me give you the example of this. 70% of people are never going to buy, okay? Only 5% will buy right away, and the rest are going to buy eventually. It might take them 3 days, it might take them 5 days, it might take them 6 months, but all these coaches are running their systems to optimize to get the people who want to buy right now, and they're missing 5 times as many people who are stuck over here. So you could probably 5 times your sales if you just switch to an ecosystem that I'm going to propose to you and show you what to do. Because again, you got to remember, your buyer's mindset is shifted. It has nothing to do with you getting another degree, another certification, 5 more case studies, writing a book. None of that stuff's going to fix this buyer psychology. So what do? Well, here's the thing. There is a group of people who figured this out long time ago. So Alex Hormozi and Layla Hormozi, and I'll get to the third one in a minute here. I know this is a bad layout, but the system, this is the best I could do. So they own Gym Launch Secrets, and they scaled that thing to millions a year. And then right after COVID hit, they started realizing, oh my goodness, like, we need to change this. So they sold Gym Launch Secrets for tens of millions of dollars, and built an ecosystem model that is crushing it. In fact, they made so much money back sometime in 2025. They did $100 million in a day. And how did they do that? By an ecosystem. So they're the best, and they're almost billionaires from what I understand. And they've been doing this for years. Not only that, Sam Ovens, who's the CEO of Skool, he's been building out his ecosystem model for years. In fact, I know Sam, and I used to be quite close with Sam back in 2015, 16, and I have the Facebook chat messages to confirm it. Well, we were in a mastermind together in Vegas, which is where I live now. I moved from Calgary, Alberta, Canada to Vegas in the spring in May of 2020, and me and Sam would hang out all the time. And Sam, who owns Skool, was running this funnel model, and he had that thing up to about 25 to 30 million a year. And way back in 2017-ish, something like that, he had seen the writing on the wall, and he had already started talking with these two about figuring out how to fix it and to realize we need an ecosystem model. The funnel's dying, and he was preparing Skool behind the scenes already to build it. So if you want to join what's actually working, three of the biggest people, and now Alex and Layla Harmozy own a pile of Skool. I don't know how much it is, but these three are without a doubt going to be billionaires in the next couple of years. And the main thing is because of the ecosystem model. And so if you want to join what is actually working and get ahead of it, I want to explain to you how this works, okay? Because you might feel like you're always late to the party. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling. Let's get this thing figured out. So I had to cut my recording there. Sorry about that. So basically, here's what I want to do. Because if you want to be a part of what's working now, you need to do this. If you've been always been late to the party, we're like, shoot, I bought real estate at the wrong time. I bought stocks. I bought Bitcoin at the wrong time. This is what's working now. Okay. And so if you want to scale your coaching business and have something that's working, here it is. So basically, here's what we do. We start out with the Facebook ads. We have a very specific strategy. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute. And then what we do is we get cold traffic into long form content. Okay. And then once they're in that long form content, we get them to see you as the only option. And we do this by doing one thing. And that one thing is shifting their belief systems from non-buyer belief systems to buyer belief systems. Now, we use a combination of things, and it's all dependent on you. This is very customized. Some cases we use an automated webinar and get ideally 60 to 70% show up rates, but that's not going to get everybody. Then we can hook a Skool community. And you got to remember, Skool communities are not about building community, and they're way less work than a Facebook group or something like that. In fact, my Skool community is like 2,400 people in it. I spend 5 minutes a day in there. All right. But it enables us to put our content in there, and we use certain strategies around building content that are highly consumable that get them to book an enrollment call. Then we hook them into what we call a symptomatic email list system, which is strategically designed to do one thing: shift your ideal client's belief system. Then from shifting their belief system, we hook them into short form content. Now that can be anything from LinkedIn to Facebook to, Instagram to whatever, right? But do you see how we're doing it backwards? And then the enrollment call. And then do you see the line from the enrollment call to the ads? Because then we can feed the data of people who are signing up with you, and it feeds them back into Facebook. So that's the power of this thing. So then Facebook finds the people who are more look like the people who are actually enrolling, which are the people who have the money. And this thing just builds and builds and builds. And it gets people to buy faster. It gets them to become clients who will pay more. And when they're on your calls, they want to work with you. Also, what it does is we force your short form platforms. You don't even have to use it. But again, I have a client, she's in her 80s, and she just got 100,000 views on one of her short form content, okay, in a total tight little health coaching niche. And then they get hooked into here, and then it goes backwards, and they get hooked into here, and then back. And so it works both ways. Now, here's the thing you need to understand. How does Facebook find your ideal clients in this model? Well, what we use is what we call pie slice Facebook ads audience mapping. Now, what does that mean? Okay, do you see the reach? These ads only went to 3.4 million people, and I spent 2.2 million on ads. My audiences are in the millions and millions and millions and millions. And it only went to a small group of them. What happens is Facebook's going to take your whole audience and they're only going to go into a small chunk of that audience. And that's what we need to fix. So I'm going to come back up here. So just one second here. So what happens is if we have the right long form content, what it's going to do is it's going to force Facebook to go into the right segment of the audience to get the people who are properly vetted to work with you. And then Facebook's going to find those people. They're going to go into the long form content, feed that data back to Facebook, get more of the right people, then more of the right people into here, shifting their belief system. And at every stage, they can buy from you on an enrollment call. At every stage, they can move forward with you. But what we're doing is we're forcing Facebook to do it for you. Now, how do the mini celebrity ads work? So here's the thing. There's a reason we call this the mini celebrity status ads. And I want to explain to you why. Okay. And so what the biggest reason is this. Google did this study about buyer behavior, and they found that everybody needs, on average, 4 platforms to meet with you on. Okay. Different platforms before trusting you. 11 touch points and 7 hours of content before wanting to work with you. So the bottom line is your ideal client needs to see you all the time. So what we do is we hook in we get them in here on the cold ads, get them into your long form content, get them into the symptomatic based email systems, get them on some short form content. And again, you do not need to spend much time on this. A lot of this can be automated. It can be a few hours a week. It doesn't have to be hard. And then what happens is we hook in the mini celebrity status ads. And those ads are anybody who sees your long form content. We run these $1 a day ads to them again and again and again to get them back to your long form content, to get them onto your list. Anybody who clicked on your ad but didn't register, we're sending them certain types of short form content to get them onto your list, to get them into your long form content. And what we're doing is we're ramping up the frequency so these people see you every single day. They're constantly seeing you. And what it does is it creates a mini celebrity status, because the person who's going to get the clients now is the one who has the highest status. They need to trust you. They need to believe you, and they need to know you're the right person. And here's the thing. By simply driving them into some funnel, it's not going to work. Okay. And so that's why we hook in these mini celebrity status ads that layer on top of all this, drive people who clicked your ad to and didn't register to your email list, drive people who clicked your ad and didn't do anything into some long form content, drive them to your short form content. And we hook this all together in this system that anybody who gets into your ecosystem is seeing your content every day, every day, every day. They're seeing your stuff. And by the time they get to a call with you, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you. I thought it'd be somebody else. How does this work? How do I work with you? And they want to work with you. So what we're doing is we're giving them multiple platforms, massive touch points, and they're consuming your content so that by the time they actually talk to you on your enrollment call, they are pre-sold. They want to buy. Their belief systems have been shifted, and they are ready to work with you. Okay. There is no way to beat this, because again, the biggest names in the industry are using this, and the best of the best have been for a number of years. And this is the future. And quite frankly, if you're like, well, my funnel, I've spent all this time and it's sort of working. Well, here's the thing. You've got a choice. Do you want to ride it into the ground and then rebuild it? Or do you want to do it now and do what's working? So this way you do not have to work on trying to get your short form content to get followers and stuff like that. We get them from our list. We get it from our long form content, and the ads actually build your short form content. So you do not have to worry about your stuff going viral. I told you about a client who did, but that's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It was like a bonus. So we were able to leverage that short form content now, and we're getting them into the list, and we're getting them into long form content and all that. This is an ecosystem that works for you. Okay. And so why does this work? Because it focuses on lead efficiency versus lead volume. It gets you seen as the only option, and it gets prospects to trust you. So the next thing you got to ask is, will this work with you? Okay. I've shown you more proof. I've shown you my story. And again, I've tested every tactic, and it will work. And will this work for you? It will work if you work until it does work. Okay. I've already shown you the proof. And the bottom line is this: the buyer shift is here. That your clients are not working with you because they think YouTube and ChatGPT are going to help them instead of you. They think all these free stuff, all these free courses, all this free stuff out there is better, or they're going to find somebody cheaper. And why do I bring up the encyclopedia? Because the encyclopedia worked for 244 years until, when was this, March 13th, 2012, when they finally closed. Okay. Now, I mean, most would argue that the Encyclopedia Britannica is more accurate than Google searches or Wikipedia, but nobody cares, right? Nobody's going to revive this. It's gone. It's dead. And here's the thing you need to realize. This worked for 244 years until the internet wiped it out. The funnel model is gone. It's on life support. And if you want to keep doing that, congratulations, that's fine. But you need to realize it's going the way of the encyclopedia and it will never be back. AI, all the competition, instant coaches who are just creating stuff from AI, all the garbage content that's going on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, it's wrecking everything. So here's what I want to do. I have nothing to sell you, but what I have is this: a mini celebrity status ads ecosystem 15-minute no sales call. Okay. Here's the thing. You can either figure this stuff out by yourself, but it's the most expensive way to make it happen. Okay. Every month you do this wrong is building up lost income. Everything is about getting the right people, the messaging, getting you seen as the only option, and getting people to want to work with you who have money. We're in a new season, and the coaches who get it are going to make a lot of money. And the ecosystem model is working better than ever before. And quite frankly, it's a lot easier than doing a funnel. Okay. Way easier, because every day that you get up and you try and use content to get people, and then you try another funnel thing, you're wasting time. You're losing time. You're missing out. And so the ecosystem is going to be easier. All right. And so we want to set up a 15-minute call with you, and we're going to help map this out for you in your individual situation. And we're going to try and help you contextualize it, give you feedback on what you can do, strategies on how to make it work. Because here's the thing, this is a lonely business. You're behind your computer all by yourself, scrolling, seeing everybody's, highlight reels, doing everything else. And we want to just pull back the curtain, give you some feedback on what can work for you, how this could work for you, how this could help take your business to the next level, give you some additional free resources as well, and map out the plan so that you can take this and go and do it yourself. Now, do we have a coaching program? We do. But this call is not about that. We'll talk, maybe you can talk about that for a minute or two, but then we'd set up another call for that. Okay. But the bottom line is, this is a 15-minute free, no sales call. Okay. There's nothing to buy. Keep your credit card in the freezer and just show up ready to learn. And we're going to unpack your business. We're going to try and figure out why it's been stagnant, why you haven't been getting the growth you want. We're going to unpack all these strategies, show you exactly what to do, because I'm here to tell you the future is simple. All right. The future is the mini celebrity status ads ecosystem, because it creates a ecosystem where you are seen as the only option, the best option. And the more you do it, the better it works, the more powerful it is, and the more profitable it becomes. And that's an example of, you got somebody like Jeremy or Sid or whoever, and I've got lots of others, who are making significant money the longer this thing works. So what I want you to do is book this call, and we're going to help you for free, give you a bunch of free, some extra free training, and show you how to scale to add that next 20 to 30,000 a month. And because the call is only 15 minutes, we do not have time to sell you on anything. So don't worry about that. All right. Book your mini celebrity status ecosystem call now so that you can discover how to join what's already working, what's in play, and what's happening, versus working harder at what's not working. Because once you do implement this, it works for you and it's easier than versus just doubling down your efforts on a funnel system or an organic marketing system that is giving you diminishing returns. All right. Book the call below, and hopefully this was helpful.